believe it. Not a week goes by without this being an issue. I don't get why it doesn't save week in, week out. All right, now we're cooking with gas. We're turned on everywhere. Only took me 10 minutes to do so. Now seeing my face all up from the side. All right, now we're cooking with gas. We're turned on everywhere. Only took me. Let me mute that. And let's do what we usually do here. Let me talk about some of the new releases that have come out today. That's what we usually do here. All right, so I just posted new releases actually a few minutes ago. And I featured new albums from LA Guns and from Emigrate. I like both albums. I think Checkered Past is a good continuation to what LA Guns has been doing these last few years, especially since Phil Lewis and Tracy Guns have gotten back together again. I like the Emigrate album, but I don't think it's good as their last two. You know, it just kind of feels like the songs are almost leftover songs, to be honest. And it sucks because I do think that a lot of bands have been putting their best foot forward, and they've been releasing some of their best material, to be honest with you. And you know, I don't know, the 1 millionth edition of Always on My Mind, which is done by Willie Nelson, Elvis. You know, we're probably the two that are most known, Pet Shop Boys. And I can't tell you how many other bands have done it since. But yeah, it's I don't know. I expected something else. Maybe my expectations were so high because the last two albums were so great. I have both on vinyl. I searched both of them out. I believe I have the self-titled album on vinyl as well. Go to Discogs and check that out. Got everything up there on Discogs. Let's see. Emigrate. Okay. So this isn't as friendly as the mobile version. What about the ones that I have? Usually, at least with the collection, there we go. These are all right. So search collection, Emigrate. Okay, so it's the last two that I have. I have A Million Degrees and I have Silent So Long. So both albums are great. I really like both of them. Again, I just think that this one maybe isn't as strong. Up there on MarsAttacksRadio.com, I did post the song that I like the most off of the album called I'm Still Alive. I'm going to fix the headphones here. It's bugging me the entire time. All right. Let's see what else has come out today. New albums by Government Mule, Enough's Enough, which is a Beatles cover album. Next up is actually Beatallica, a combo between Metallica and the Beatles on our good friend Anirudh Bansal, uh, Metal Assault Records, better known as Andrew. Let's see, Haunt just released a Unplugged album. It's kind of cool, better than what you would expect from Unplugged stuff. Let's see, Scattered Hamlet, Northtail, Bonded, Negura Bengut, Negura Bengut, okay. Dark Woods, My Bethroned, Sania, Delphian, Groundbreaker, Unleashed, All Life Dies, Bloodsport, Sun Title, Rhine, Tower, 200 Stab Wounds, Hyperdontia, Cave Bastard, Burial Waves, Anton Johansson, and Silent Planet. Right, EPs from Rise Against, All Hail the Yeti, Eyes Wide Open, and Bended, which feature Corey Taylor and Clown from Slipknot's Sons. Justice. All right, let's see what else. We have reissues: Nirvana Nevermind 30th Anniversary, Hammer Falls Renegade 2.0, All That Remains, Orknagar, live albums by Suffocation, and compilations from Mordred. Compilation on Cherry Red, which features their Noise Records years. And yeah, so that's a rundown of this week's new releases. Also want to remind you that earlier this week, yesterday, I released my interview with Chris Penny and Ron Scalzo of Return to Earth on podcast form. Let's see. Also, I cleaned up the audio. There were some issues there, but I think it sounds pretty good. We've also got the video version of the interview up there on YouTube as well, so you can check that out. We have coming up next, if you want to follow me over to MarsAttacksRadio.com, you'll be able to actually check out my Ask the Host episode, which is what will be up later today. So it should be fun. Last time I did this was a lot of fun. So let's see what you guys think of it this time around. And let's see, what else? Back on Tuesday of next week, we'll be back with Trivia Tuesday on Twitch. It should be cool. We got a good house in this week. And a lot of the people that follow me in all these things are my patrons. So I do want to remind you that we are going to have a Scorpions discussion on the 26th of November. That's the Friday after Thanksgiving in the States. And we're going to be talking Scorpions. If you don't know what those shows are like, go back, check out our Motley Crue episode, check out our Iron Maiden discussion, and check out our Judas Priest discussion. And we essentially, the patrons that are able to come on board for that episode, we'll talk about Scorpions, how we first heard them, what our favorite album is by the band, and 3 tracks to sell people on by the band. So it should be cool. Anytime that I get together with my patrons, it is cool. And like I said, It's a lot of different people that it's in this case it's my patrons who usually follow me on Twitch, usually follow me on every other platform out there. So kind of cool. Let's see, did I just happen to lose the internet? Because I'm seeing that everything is kind of refreshing on me. Because I'm seeing that everything is kind of awesome. So nothing like losing connection, having all this stuff go down while you're live on the air. Hey. How to reconnect. Okay, looks like everything is back up and going here. We want to thank Isa for being in here again. Don't know if you're actually there or not. If you are and want to come up on stage and talk about anything hard rock or metal related, please let me know for sure. I'd be more than happy to bring you up on stage. All right, so as I'm refreshing things, it looks like it's maybe going out, but maybe my other connections just aren't working. Murphy's Law, my friends. Murphy's Law. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? See that Rob Rose checking in. Hey, Rob, hope you're doing well. And I was talking about Patreon. Let me just talk about that before wrapping things up here. See that there aren't too many people checking this out. So we will have at the top of the hour the as the host on the Signals from Mars live stream. You can go to MarsAttacksRadio.com to find out more about that. And that will be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Mixcloud, and a bunch of other things. So be on the lookout for that. Awesome. Alexa, do not disturb. Thank you. So, well, this is freezing up. Doesn't look like it's working correctly. So I guess it is going out on my phone, which is how you could subscribe to Fireside. And just so you guys know, if you go to Fireside, it looks like Jeremy is checking in from the UK. Jeremy, hello. If this is coming through all right, please let me know. Because everything seems to be freezing on my end. But yeah. Again, talking about the patrons, Jeremy's one of them. They're the diehards that usually follow me around everywhere. And I do have to thank them for all of their support. You could be a patron for as little as $2 a month. And as far as, all right, Jeremy, yeah, I see that you're, all right, so as you're on Twitch. But is the video, it's fine for you. Okay. On my end, everything is freezing. So I don't know what's taking place here. I'm closing all types of windows. Hoping hopefully this will help. But yeah. So hey, is that Brad Dahl on Fireside? That is Mr. Brad Dahl. Request to come up on stage, and I will bring you up. That is Brad Dahl. Dr. Poison, how are you? Uh-oh. You have to unmute yourself. Down at the bottom, you'll see React, and next to React, there's a mic.
Okay.
I hear you.
Oh,
For a second, I did.
Okay.
I heard an okay.
Yeah. I just want to say hi. I'm at my son's house, and I'm on my way home, so I'll check in on you there when I get home.
Awesome.
So
Thank
hope
you
you
for
guys
checking in, sir.
Yeah,
Have
hi
a
to
safe trip home.
everybody. Hi to everybody, and party on. Can you see me or just hear me?
Just hear you.
Okay. All right. Say hi, Nathan.
What's up, Victor?
Hey, Nate. How you doing?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Doing all right.
All right, there you go. Nathan's first appearance on Mars Attacks, Signals from Mars. So
there you go.
I get Shelly to say hi, but she's in a rough mood. Say hi.
Hi, Victor.
Hello, Shelly.
Don't ask
I'm sure, Brad, you didn't do anything to put her in that mood.
No, never, not me, man. No, she tried to fix something on Nathan's wall and ended up making it worse. So that's how that went. So I'm signing out now. You guys are the best, man. Rock on. See you in about 40 minutes.
Awesome. Thanks for checking in, guys.
All right.
Awesome. So a great appearance there by Brad Dahl from Yarg Metal. Go to yargmetal.com and check out everything that he has going on. And also his wife, Shelly, and Nate, his son, checking in. So the whole Yarg Metal crew. Oh, we need a CEO, Dave, to come on in and say hello. Maybe we'll have that happen one of these days. We'll see. But anyway, cool. So it's awesome to hear from you guys. It's awesome to see Jeremy in the chat. See, okay, Rob Rose saying that it's working on his end. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube was freezing. Twitter's frozen in front of me. Twitch looks like it's working finally. The image is freezing on my end, but I'm glad that you guys are seeing everything all right. That's the main thing here, because obviously I want to go through this without having any issues, and week by week, things will only get better. As Howard Jones will only get better. Is that the song? But, anyway, cool. So, have any of you guys checked out any of the albums that have come out today? Any of the ones that I've mentioned? Jeremy, you're great with your patrons pick. Hopefully I can get that last week's episode with Brad actually posted sometime this weekend or possibly on Monday and include your patrons pick. I haven't listened to it yet. It's always fun to hear Jeremy's pick because it isn't always what you expect, which is what I like. So, and for anyone that was checked out last week's episode, the fireman behind me, the same one from last week. Last week's was white. And this is more of a SG color. You know what that is? Like a wine color. So I've got like a million windows open here. Maybe that's what's affecting all of this. What if we do this? Does that help? All right, now I've only got 3, so things seem to be working smoother now. Let's go and for those that do not have Patreon, like I said before, $2 a month gets you the album of the week videos. It gets you the Victor M. Ruiz podcast, which is exclusive to the Patreon. It also gets you all the video content that I post, and it allows you to help us curate the favorites of 2021, which appears on Spotify and on Apple Music. That's selected by the patrons. And also, I allowed the patrons, or not that I allowed, I asked for feedback from the patrons to tell me what songs they'd been checking out recently to include them on the latest episode of the Mars Attacks radio show, which is exclusive to Anchor and to Spotify. And we had a lot of really cool selections, again, mostly from the diehards. I've got no problem with that. But there's something that I'm going to discuss during today's Ask the Host. Something that I'm going to bring up that hopefully piques some of the patrons' interest. Like I said, on the 26th, we will be doing the Scorpions discussion. We do that like every 2 months, a band discussion. But there's a little more that I'm going to bring up. So hopefully you guys will be interested. So let's see. Jeremy's saying that not yet. Need to see this week's. My pick of last week is very interesting. I do not doubt that, sir. So let's see. Bohemoth, I look up to Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson. Why aren't there more black heavy metal musicians? Suffocation's Terrence Hobbs weighs in. Il Nino bassist blasts backstabbing former bandmate. Says he wasn't impressed with Lions at the Gate. Oh boy. Scion featuring Killswitch Engage singer Howard Jones and YouTube guitar sensation Jared Dines' debut album announced. Ex-Journey singer Steve Perry shares visualizer for Christmas song from his holiday album The Season. NHC featuring Taylor Hawkins, Dave Navarro, and Chris Chaney. 2 new songs released, Devil That You Know and Lazy Eyes. NHC. Da-na-na-na, da-na, da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. Oh, I'm sorry, that's NLB. Let's see here. Failure to release new album Wild Type Droid in December. Emily Striegel posted about that on her Twitter today. Annihilator shares new version of Downright Dominate featuring Dave Lombardo and Stu Block. So let's check out what this is all about. Lawrence Fieldy is taking time to figure out what makes him happy. Okay. So that's why there's only like a second of a bass shown during the new Korn video. Neil Peart's wife and daughter accept Lifetime Achievement Award on his behalf at PASIC, which is Percussive Art Society. David Ellison to produce unearthed drum riffs from late Megadeth drummer Nick Menza. Slayer's Kerry King on Metallica's Black Album. I never hated it the way a lot of people did. Right, this is interesting. Let's see what he has to say about this. All right, so he's saying this to Metal Hammer essentially. I may not have been super stoked on it, but I never hated it the way a lot of people did. To this day, I like that record a lot. I think it's Metallica, but I don't think it's thrash Metallica. You can hear where all the influences come from all of the other older stuff. They just super slowed it down and made it super heavy. They made it super catchy. That record probably sold more than all of my records combined. There's so much grief over that when it came out. And to be honest with you, everything that came out after that for a long time, that's what I have a problem with. But the Black Album, it's still heavy. It's got some fast stuff on it. So talking about Metallica's greatest accomplishment, man, they've had so many. One that I can say we were a part of was the Big Four show at New York's Yankee Stadium. I think we were the first musical concert at the new Yankee Stadium, and I think that was big for Metallica. So I'm happy to be part of that with them. But their greatest achievement, I would say, has got to be the Black Album. That's the biggest level of success for them. It may not be my thing, but it's the first that comes to mind. So, and then there, of course, there's other things that come out or that they add. We've never been close. We've pretty much been acquaintances at best, but not like we cross paths that often. I love Metallica in the beginning, he continues. I used to go to the Woodstock in Orange County and watch them when Dave Mustaine was in the band. I thought Mustaine's shit didn't stink, and so did Mustaine. That's his problem. I was just blown away. Me and Jeff Henneman, Slayer guitarist, would go to the Woodstock and pay money to go see Metallica. But Mustaine would end up there ripping through everything. Everything on that album, even the leads that are on that album, are what Mustaine played. Not even looking at what he was playing, just ripping. We were just blown away by that. I was a fan for sure. I mean, even though Master of Puppets, even through Master of Puppets, I was still a fan when I was a kid. I was a Priest fan and a Maiden fan, but if I had a band I liked and they made a record I didn't like, I was just offended. When Priest put out Point of Entry, oh boy, he's mentioned this a million times. I just burned it. I was like, how could you do this to me? Then kind of felt that way with And Justice for All. It was kind of a letdown to me. The mix was kind of weird. There were some great songs on it, but to me, it wasn't better than Puppets. Then when they did the whole load reload thing, I was just, there's probably a lot of people on the planet that were pretty put aside. I even like the Black record. It's no Master of Puppets, but it's got some fun. It's got some fucking heavy shit on it. Okay. So there you go. And then it continues with a bunch of other things, with them talking about St. Anger and some kind of monster, and, so cherry pick the worst of the list. Anyway, back to the headlines here. Machine Head to release new studio album in summer of 2022. Roger Daltrey doesn't see the point in making more new music with The Who. I'm out of ideas. As I Lie Dying's frontman Tim Lebesis released his first two songs from Born Through Fire project. Ted Nugent shares lyric video for his rally cry for pro-gun advocates, Come and Take It. Right? Slipknot's M. Sean Crayon tears bicep tendon, misses Welcome to Rockville performance. Amy Lee uncovering Linkin Park's Heavy with Amy Lee. It's almost like a church moment. Code Orange drops new single Out for Blood. I've been playing a lot of songs, or I've been playing this song a lot, is what I'm trying to say. I really enjoy this new Code Orange song. I'm a big fan of what they do, and this song did not disappoint. Fear Factory to release first song featuring new singer prior to the launch of Static X Tour. Okay, that's interesting. be interested to hear that. Rob Halford says, next Judas Priest album will have its own separate character. Okay? See what he means by this. All right. So he says this next Priest album will just be full of separate characters. Judas Priest is Painkiller, is British Steel, is Scream for Vengeance, is Sin After Sin. Every album has its own legs, its own metal boots. All right. I get what he's saying. All right, cool. Joey Belladonna can't wait to begin working on new Anthrax album. Death Angel members to discuss making of Bastard Tracks live album. Okay? Stone Temple Pilots pull out of Welcome to Rockville Festival after positive COVID-19 test. Fozzy announces spring 2022 leg of Save the World tour. All right, Gene Simmons calls unvaccinated people delusional and the enemy. Dave Mustaine names his favorite Megadeth guitar solos that he has written. And finally, where we left things off with yesterday's Victor M. Ruiz podcast with Paul Stanley explaining that Kiss doesn't need to release a new studio album. Again, I'm sure that the diehards would welcome it. I would never compare it to some of my favorite albums by the band, but you know, I'd welcome it. I always welcome another slice of pizza. The first pizza pie that I ate wasn't the greatest pizza pie I ever ate. So here you go. Yeah, so now I'm getting network errors and all types of other things on these other platforms. But anyway, we're winding things down here. I do want to thank everyone who is checking in, the people that I see here. I saw Rob Rowe. I saw Jeremy from Manchester. I saw, who else? There's a few people that have hopped on here. Oh, actually, Brad Dahl hopped on here. And I see that Ray has joined us. Hello, Ray. Hope you're doing well. Ida has joined us again this week. Hope you're well also. And that's pretty much it. At the top of the hour, we'll be back for the Signals from Mars live stream, the usual one. You can go to MarsAttacksRadio.com to find out more about that and all the different places where you can follow or watch that live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, and Mixcloud, and a bunch of other platforms. Just go to MarsAttacksRadio.com, hit the subscribe tab at the top, and you'll find all the various ways that you can watch live, participate, and chime in. So that is it, folks. Thank you for this week, and we'll see you next week right here.